I'm back, baby, and I'm excited to be back. This video is going to be about the main things you should focus on when you're starting your business. I'm sorry I went away for so long. I didn't realize the impact these videos had until kind of going away, and like I'm getting DMs. I'm meeting new people in the real world that are telling me they used to watch my videos. They miss my videos. Their wife is asking them why they don't watch Andy anymore, and they have to say, Andy, stop making videos. So I'm sorry. It feels really good to know that these videos help. I know I don't get a ton of viewers on them, but if it helps anybody, they're worth it. I started a second business. That's the reason the video stopped. I was keeping up with it early on and starting, but then it just got fucking crazy, and I had to go away for a while, but I'm back. I recently watched a podcast with Patrick Bet-David and Gary Brecka, and it really went into depth about what Grant Cardone is doing. I've been told that this goes on in the YouTube influencer industry a while ago, actually. I don't need to call anyone else out by name, but there's a lot of scumbags online that are just making videos to get rich off of you. Where like the business owner that wants to grow his business feels like they're struggling. Trust this guy on YouTube that has all this knowledge, because you know, in some of these cases, they do have a lot of knowledge. And I've even watched one of these guys and learned a lot about how to build my business off of him. So like, I understand, like you trust this guy, you know they've done it before, you see them out there, and then you give away your business to them and they're stealing revenue. Now they own a piece of your business without giving you a fucking dollar, and they just tank your business. They just take everything you built and fucking steal it. And that pisses me off. I don't ever want to sell you anything. If I ever do in the future try to sell you anything, tell me to go fuck myself. Because that's not why I make these videos. I make these videos because business is hard as shit. And if you can take what I do and implement it in your business and you win, then I'm fucking happy. I swear to God, that's the truth. I have a guy that calls me 7 times a day in my market that I'll spend an hour on the phone if I have it, and I'll just help him. I help him. It feels good to help people. So I like it. I like to help people, and that's why I make the videos. So I'm back. And I have a lot of valuable insights from going away for a while because I started my second business. Like I said, we are now a metal roofing manufacturer / supplier. So we fabricate metal roofing panels and sell metal roofing packages to other roofers. I started this business with a partner, which I'll get into later. But in starting my second business, I can tell you that it is a lot easier to start your second business than it is your first business. How much easier? We've gotten to, in 6 months, what took me 5 years to do in my roofing company. And that's what this video is going to be about today. This video is going to be about the main things you should focus on when you're starting your business. I've made videos in the past telling you that you have to know where you're at in your business to be careful of taking advice from some dude with a $50 million company and getting all bent out of shape trying to apply it to your $500,000 company. Because like that doesn't add up. So there is truth to that. But previously I would have thought that some things would have been better to save for later, but I now see that no, you should learn them right now. You should learn them right now in year one. At day one, you should learn them right now. Because we've had some success. We've been able to scale like very explosively, and everything hasn't fallen apart because of the things I learned in my first business. But those things I learned in my first business took me way too long to learn. So if I would have learned them earlier, I probably would have scaled quicker. So that's what this video is about. The top things you need to do to scale your business quickly. I'm not a professional YouTuber, so I don't have like the 7 things. Let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6 things you need to do to scale your business explosively. I'm just going to shit on all the YouTube influencers from now on because like I have a really bad taste in my mouth over the whole industry. I just want to be a good guy doing this. Like if you DM me, I'm probably going to give you my personal cell phone number and you can fucking call me anytime you want. I know there's a lot of you out there that know that already. Like you have my phone number. You call me. I'll sit on the phone with you for 20 minutes and bullshit. I really am that guy. So I'm just going to shit on all these fucking pussies. It makes me mad. Because like the thought of like trying to build my business and then trusting some guy I met on the internet and then they just steal revenue off the top of my business to where I'm left with nothing makes me want to kill people. It's fucking bullshit, but it's the world we live in, and I'm just going to shit on all that from now on because I don't think it's right. I think they're scumbags. I think that if they were really that good at business, they would just make their money in business and they wouldn't need to make it off of vulnerable people on the internet that are just trying to learn, that just trust you to learn, and you're just a scumbag. So I'm just going to shit on them, and that's going to be my brand. If I'm being honest, for a little bit there, I was like doing research and I actually hired someone to kind of help me learn how to build a YouTube channel. And I just had to like cut it and be like, what the fuck am I doing? I love business. I do the videos to help people. Like, I don't need to do I need no tips or tricks to grow this fucking YouTube channel. People will find it. If they like what I say, they'll watch me, and that's it. That's it. So I digress. Back to the things you need to do to scale early. Number one is experience and knowledge in the industry. Now, maybe you've already started a business. Maybe you're in year one and you don't have that much experience. You don't have that much knowledge and you don't have too many relationships in the industry. No problem. Don't panic, but just understand that that piece is super important. If you're getting ready to start a business and you go to a bank for an SBA loan, the number one indicator or predictor of your success that the bank is going to look at, because you have no history and all you have is a business plan and a dream, is experience in the industry. It's the number one factor they're going to look at to approve your loan. So if you go to a bank and you have no roofing experience and you're asking for an SBA loan to start a roofing company, they're going to be like, I don't know about that, man. What the fuck do you even know about roofing? Why are you even starting a roofing company? So that should tell you how important this piece is. And again, this is a piece that I didn't take serious in the beginning. I had all the experience in the world in roofing, but I had no relationships. I got dropped in a brand new city. I knew nobody. I really didn't even have any friends. And I was fucking shy. I would just go to the supplier, put my head down, not really talk to anybody. I wasn't out at BNI groups. I wasn't out meeting realtors. I wasn't out meeting roofing consultants. I wasn't out meeting attorneys that deal in roof claims. I wasn't out meeting anybody, builders, nobody. I was just shy. I was doing my thing. I had a Thumbtack account. I was doing repairs by myself. But if I would have taken the networking serious, the relationship serious, I would have grew my business faster. I was fucking shy. I was a pussy, if I'm being honest. And that held me back. But in my second business, that's not the case. Like, we're fucking everywhere. We're being loud about what we're doing. We're trying to get as many people to know who we are as possible. We're making connections with distributors. We're making connections with customers. We're just doing everything we have to do to get ourselves out there. Whereas it took me like 3-4 years to really let that sink in my roofing company. But because I learned it in my roofing company, I was able to take that to my second business and explode the business faster because of that piece. So experience in the industry and relationships in the industry will help you. So if you're looking to start a business and you don't have much experience in the industry, maybe pump the brakes, be patient, and go get a job in that industry. Get paid while you learn, get paid while you meet other people in the industry, maybe find some mentors, and then start the business at a later date so you have a higher chance of success. This shit is not easy. I just had a call with a guy yesterday, which was a kind of a crazy phone call. It's a friend of a friend. He just got a pretty fat 6-figure check for getting hit by an Uber driver on his motorcycle. And he wants to get into business with this check, which I commend him for it. You know, he got a fat lump of cash. He's trying to do something productive with it. Great. But he's on the internet just looking for businesses to buy and has no fucking path, no idea of how he's going to do it, no idea of the even business he's going to choose. And he like sent me a link. What was the site? Some bullshit site where businesses are listed. It's a FedEx route. They want like $2.7 million for it. They had 30 employees, 24 trucks. It said that the owner only has to work 4 hours a week. There's one manager. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck do you know about a FedEx route? How did you even pick FedEx route? And like, he had no answer for me. So with no experience, no knowledge in the industry, yes, you're going to buy this business that already operates and is kind of built to some level of volume. But what the fuck are you going to do with it? You're going to run it into the ground. Because if businesses aren't growing, they're shrinking. And what do you know about growing a fucking FedEx route? So like that, I would stay away from. Don't just hear there's great money in solar, so start a solar company. I see guys do this, and it's a recipe for disaster. These are the guys that don't know shit. Everybody they deal with, vendors, customers, competitors, knows they don't know shit. And chances of success are very low because you have no experience. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know step one. You don't know anything. So like, to have the balls to start a business in an industry you know nothing about, I commend you for having balls, but good luck. Number 2. And this is one where I've given bad advice on this one. I've told people before that, you know, yes, systems are super important. Getting your CRM, your workflow set up, maybe some automations is super important. But like, you can kind of let that sit until you hire, you know, some office people, you have some help. It helps keep everybody organized. It's not super important for you by yourself, a solo guy. I have a different opinion on this now. I think that's wrong. I think you should systematize your business from day one. You should start thinking and looking at your business as a system. You should start to dissect your full customer journey from the very beginning. And if you have experience in the industry, you'll know what that customer journey looks like. But this is important for a bunch of reasons. Number one, if you want to have explosive growth, your whole fucking business is going to fall apart. You're going to have upset customers left and right, issues, disorganization, all sorts of fuck ups if you don't have clear systems. So like, don't even strive for explosive growth if you don't have your shit together and you don't have a grip on the systems of your business. Another thing it's going to do is it's going to put you in a systems mindset from day one because you should be in one. I am a fucking systems dork, Nazi, whatever you want to call it. Like a lot of my time today is built on systems. I'll give you an example. We're going through like some explosive growth here at Foxhaven too, the roofing company, and it kind of buried my production manager where like he was all stressed out. I would walk in the office and he would be like this. Like not like eyes shut, just holding his forehead. I'm like, dude, you all right? And he was all fucked up, all stressed out, buried. He's seeing new signed contracts every day enter the system, and he's just like getting buried. Everything's fucked up. So I'm like, all right, we have a problem here. We have a production department problem. So what was my reaction to the production problem? It was systems. It was looking at like, all right, man, what is my production manager doing right now? How is he keeping all this shit organized? Where are jobs going? As new signed contracts happen, what has to happen next? Okay, permitting submits it for permits, but then while we're waiting for the application, there's all this other stuff that happens while we're waiting for the permit to prep for the job. All right, how are we keeping that organized? Is there a clear workflow for all that stuff? And there really wasn't, not for the size we became. My production manager was just a fucking beast. His mind is like a steel vault. And I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, you're not going to remember anything anymore. You have to stop trusting your memory. You have to use the systems. So we built new boards out. We've got a couple new automations in there, a couple different ways for tracking things, for looking at boards, for making the schedule, for doing pre-start checklists, for measuring for metal panels. Like we've got it all kind of dialed in and it's a completely new system. But like that was my reaction to the production problem. And this is how I react to all problems, is I have to look at the systems. You don't want to get in the habit of problem comes up, you fix the problem, you move on with your day. No, and like I get annoying with my people because like I'll hear my production manager will take a call. Okay, there's a problem. And I'll be just eavesdropping on the call. And he'll hang up and I'll be like, what's going on? And he'll be like, oh, nothing. I just have to send this over you. Like, what? It'll just like kind of mumble. And then I have to like dig deeper and ask him more questions. I'm like, okay, well, why did we miss that? Like, I don't know. We just missed it. I'm like, yeah, but that's not the answer, man. There's a reason we missed it. And if you can tell me why we missed it, well, then we can figure out how to make sure we don't miss this anymore. Because those are the improvements you need to make in your business. You need to see problem, see upset customer, see something fall apart and go, why is this customer upset? Why did this fall apart? Why is this problem here? Why did we miss this? And then when you answer that why question, you can go to your systems and figure out, okay, when this happens, this needs to go here. These people need to be alerted. Then they need to pass it here. And then boom, this won't happen anymore. So if you start your business from day one thinking like this, thinking in the systems framework, every time a problem arises, you're going to go to your systems. And now you're nipping problems in the butt and making sure they don't happen again, because the upset customer is your greatest teacher. As long as you fix your business when there's an upset customer, you take care of the customer so they're okay. Little tidbit, that customer will be your biggest fan if you take care of them, because you show your integrity. When something goes wrong, you show up like a man, look them in the eyes and do whatever you need to do to fix it. That customer is going to like you way more than if everything just went perfect from day one. But we see the upset customer, we see the problem, we figure out why, and then we tweak our systems, our communication, our workflow, whatever it may be, maybe add an automation to then fix that problem. And now that problem is gone from your business forever. And I shouldn't say forever, because you'll probably scale in the future and then your systems will break and then you'll tweak your systems and so on and so forth. But this is how you scale your business and still take care of your customers and still have a great reputation. It's through the systems in your business. So starting from day one is going to massively help you, and you should think about your systems from day one. And the easiest way to do this, I've said it before, is just to map out your customer journey step by step. Customer calls the office. I send an estimate. I follow up. They sign the estimate. Now it goes into production. Maybe production and permitting have tasks that happen at the same time. Okay, then the job starts, then billing, and so on and so forth. And if you can map all that stuff out and start to think about your business that way, it's going to help you greatly, I promise. And now you have the confidence to go out and get more customers because you know that your business consistently treats your customers correctly. Third one, this one's interesting. Maybe think about a partner. I never really thought about a partner before because I started my first business by myself. I was the only employee in my business for about a year. I never felt the need of having a partner. But maybe think about it. And like this could be a good way to fill in the gap of the first tip I gave, which was experience relationships in the industry. Maybe if you're lacking in either of those, it would benefit you to find a partner that doesn't lack in those areas. So in my example, I actually did this. And if he's looking at it, he did this as well. And that's why we're great partners. So I didn't have a ton of experience in the metal fabrication business. Obviously, I knew a lot about it. I had been installing metal roofs for a long time. I had been purchasing metal packages from a supplier for a long time. So I knew the basics. I knew like from a higher level outline what the business looked like. But as far as like the day-to-day, the nitty-gritty, I didn't know anything about that. I didn't have relationships with vendors for metal coil. I didn't have relationships with vendors for screws. But my partner has all that. He'd been in the industry for like 9 years. So, and he was a beast. You know, he's who I bought metal packages from. So who better to partner with than someone that's been in the business? And then on the flip side, for him, he had never started a business before. Never been in QuickBooks, never thought about a system of a business, doesn't know anything about reporting or making decisions based on financials. I guess like inventory management on a basic level, but as far as implementing the computer and office systems to manage inventory in an efficient way with not a lot of bullshit and using technology to your advantage, like that's all stuff that I bring to the table. So we make great partners because we both equally need each other. And then the extra piece of that is we both are savages as far as work ethic. So there's not one of us thinking that like we're doing all the work and the other one's just fucking sitting there making money. Like that's not there because we both work really hard. We're both workers. And I knew this about him and he knew this about me. So it's been very comfortable. Will it always be, what do they say? Sunny skies and rainbows? I don't even know if that's the fucking phrase. I don't know. We'll see. But that's why you have operating agreements and that's why, you know, you do it correctly. But the fact that I have a partner in this business is fucking huge because we're both drivers, which I have always been a driver. I'm a driver for growth in my business. I have high standards. I hold people accountable. I drive growth in the business. I'm the one that drives growth. Well, he is also driving growth. So now we have two drivers and it's no coincidence that we've grown so fast because there's two of us. So you know, a partner is not a bad thing. It may be a great idea for you, especially like I said before, if you're lacking in experience or relationships in the industry, you can fix that by partnering with somebody. And if you both got big dreams and you both want to scale it real big, well, owning 50% of something is still going to be fucking great. If you guys do 200 million a year, I think you'll be okay with owning 50%. They always throw out like the percentages Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk own of Amazon and Tesla. And I don't know them off the top of my head, but they're very small. But the fucking companies are so big, they're still the richest people on the fucking planet. So having a partner isn't a bad thing. And you may want to think about it. It's an interesting thought. Get your fucking numbers in order. And this is another piece where like I've previously said, like, dude, just focus on your customer, focus on doing a great job, focus on referrals, focus on 5-star reviews, just like start to get the ball rolling. And then like you'll start to learn your numbers later. Wrong. This is a tough one because a lot of you feel like you don't have time. But it's so fucking important, man. It's so important, especially for scaling fast because you got to be able to scale and hire and buy equipment and make all these financial decisions knowing you're doing the right thing, not guessing. Dude, I operated off the hip at Foxhaven for so long as far as like marketing budget, when to buy a truck, when to hire somebody, when to bring on a sales rep, when to do anything. I just fucking like, just going off my gut. I see it's so much better. It's so much better to have a brand new business and you're growing, revenue's going up, volume's going up, you're realizing you need more help quickly, you need more machines, you need more equipment. It's so much better to have your fucking QuickBooks dialed in, to be able to look at your balance sheet, look at your profit and loss statement, understand your overhead, understand gross margin, understand what those hires are going to do to your overhead, understanding how much more revenue you're going to need to clear the increased overhead because you're hiring people. It's so much better. We're making like a ton of hires and high level hires, which I'll get to in a minute, that we know we can afford because we know our numbers. We know our numbers to a T, and we've known them from day one because I've been in business. I understand numbers. I understand accounting. I understand QuickBooks. I understand how to do it. So because we've always been able to look at our numbers and trust what they're telling us, we are comfortable. We're not like, dude, I remember hiring people at Fox Haven in the beginning and being sick to my fucking stomach that I couldn't afford them. But that wasn't, that was fake. It was made up in my head. And I know a lot of you out there have the same bullshit made up in your head because you don't really know your numbers. You're not comfortable about your numbers. If you were comfortable with your numbers, the decision to hire somebody would be told to you from QuickBooks. It would be told that you can afford it, fucking do it because you need it. But because you don't have your numbers and you don't trust what QuickBooks is telling you because your basic bookkeeping functions in your business aren't there, well, you have to operate off the hip like I did, and it scares the shit out of you to hire somebody, but you need to fucking hire somebody and you can afford it, I promise, but you just don't know your numbers. So knowing your numbers in the beginning, I mean, it's so much more than what I've said so far, but it's fucking everything. It's everything. It's like when you're getting beat up on price and you're having a hard time competing. Well, how do you know if you can lower your prices or not? And it's having an understanding of the financials. This happened to us. We opened up at higher prices. A competitor lowered his prices. We looked at our numbers. We realized, all right, we can actually match them. We can be there. Metal roofing, metal products, it's largely commoditized. If this guy can give it to you cheaper, you're probably going to go with him. We are a service, more so than picking up shingles from ABC Supply. We're definitely more of a service, but like still, obviously, it's roofing products. The price is super important. So we had to dive into our numbers, do some math, look at some things, look at our gross profit percentage, do some forecasting, and we realized, like, you know what? We can match this fucking guy. Our overhead's pretty low. We can match them. So we matched them, and it became easier for us to gain more customers and then grow the business. But like if I didn't have an understanding of my numbers, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I might have been scared to drop my price because like hiring people, dropping your prices, all those things are scary if you don't have a grip on your numbers. They're scary. The other thing that happens if you don't know your numbers is people are going to give you terrible fucking advice. And you don't know your numbers, so you're just going to take their word for it. For example, I've recently been told by someone I respect, don't hire that person, that's too much of a salary. But it's like, whoa, buddy, you don't know my fucking business. You don't know my numbers. How can you even say that that salary is too high? You have no idea, but I know. So I'm confident in my decision-making because I know my numbers. I know that hire is only going to raise my overhead 1.5% at my current volume. But like, obviously we're going to go up. And even if we didn't go up, and even if we went down and it raised my overhead 3%, I'm still okay. Because our gross margin is way above our overhead percentage. I can afford it and we need this person. It's going to help our business, which goes right into the next one. Hire above you, you cheap fuck. This one's huge, man. And like, I didn't really do this in the roofing company. I didn't really do this. I hired under me. Luckily, I'm like a very obsessive learner and I've gotten pretty good at every department in a roofing company. So like hiring below me and training hasn't really been too big of a problem, but I now understand that it's super important to hire people better than you. And I'm not the first person you've heard that from. The reason we don't hire people that are better than us is because we feel like we have no money. But feeling like we have no money and knowing that we have no money are two different things. Like it's very easy to have like a conservative mindset around your business and be very safe and like, no, I don't want, no, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. But is it too much? It's not up to us. The numbers will tell us if it's too much. So if you get your shit together with your numbers and you have it all dialed in and you understand your numbers, you may realize that you can hire a salary person for $110,000 a year in your first year in business. You may see that. You may see you can spring on that experienced sales guy that's really going to help bring in more revenue, even though he wants a fat salary, a truck, a gas card, and commission. You may be able to look at your numbers and say, you know what? This guy's great. It's a way better situation than hiring someone from scratch. I have to pay for the talent, but I can afford it. I can afford it even at today's numbers. And obviously with the sales hire, you're hiring him with the hopes of bringing more business and inflate the numbers. And if the numbers don't go up because you made this big hire, well, then you're going to have to let him go because it's not working. Oh shit, there's really no risk in this decision, and I can sleep at night while hiring high-level people because I know the business can afford it. So we should all be hiring above us. We should be hiring better marketers than us. We should be hiring better salespeople than us. We should be hiring better managers than us. We should be hiring people that are better than us. And the way we're able to be comfortable in doing that is by knowing our numbers and knowing we can afford it. You know, and if we look at our numbers and we do understand our numbers and we realize we can't afford it, well, then maybe we're not making enough money. Maybe our margins aren't healthy. Maybe we need to raise our prices a little bit. You know, so, but none of that decision-making happens if you don't know your numbers. All the decisions I've made in this second business are by knowing our numbers. And like, you know, I go to my partner, I run through the math. I let them know that, hey, this hire is going to be this much. Our overhead is currently this. We're currently doing this much in revenue with this much gross margin. If we hire this person, our overhead is going to go to here. We're good. We're good. And I have to walk him through that to make him comfortable because he's never been in business before. And he has what we all have. Like, we're conservative. We want to be safe. It makes us nervous. Hiring is scary. So, but I'm able to walk him through the math and put him at ease. And that, I'm telling you, that is huge. That's huge in buying equipment, any investments in your business. If you can do them by looking at the numbers and making decisions that way, well, that's what real businesses do. So from day one, you should be focused on your numbers and starting to understand them. And you're going to be able to grow your business quicker because you're not going to be so scared. It took me, I think it was like 2 years and 2 months before I hired a single person. You know, I've got another young guy that I help out. He's getting ready to hire, he's got the guy in the field. He's getting ready to hire his first office person. He's like 2.5 years in. But I've been telling him to do it for, I don't know, maybe a year. Because I know I didn't do it early enough because I was scared, like I'm sure a lot of you are scared. So instead of just me telling you not to be scared, why don't you dive into QuickBooks? Why don't you take a couple accounting classes? Why don't you hire a fractional CFO to start to understand your numbers and start to make decisions based on math and numbers rather than just your gut? You know, I made it, but I probably could have went a lot quicker if I knew my numbers earlier. Invest in your business until you sell it. This one's huge and it kind of goes with what I'm saying. Continue to invest in your business because you're not where you want to be. And maybe you are where you want to be and you just want to kind of take your foot off the gas, let the thing run and just kind of keep it where it's at. Maybe. I don't think if you're watching me, I don't think that's where you're at. I think you're probably not happy with where you're at, which is good. Don't ever let anyone tell you should be satisfied with where you're at. That's my opinion on it. Just on a little side note, I've been incredibly hard to live with. Like, living with myself has been incredibly hard, but I think that's my biggest superpower. And actually, in recent years, and especially now, it's gotten a lot easier to live with myself because I finally know who I am, and I finally have proven to myself like what I'm about and who I am and how I look at things, and I'm comfortable. But like in the beginning, when you're just like this unsatisfied, you have all these expectations and goals and places you're trying to get to and you feel like you're nowhere, that shit makes you so uncomfortable. You're constantly like, feel like you're not good enough. You constantly are like, you're not sure if it's working. You're all fucked up in your head. It's you're up, you're down. Some days you're low energy. Some days you're ready to run through a wall. It's very crazy in the beginning, and that's normal. If you feel like that, you're doing it right. I tell people that all the time. Yeah, man, I know it sucks. I know it sucks. I know you want to quit sometimes. That's how I know you're doing it right. But after a while, you've been through so much shit. You've been through so many hard times. You've been through all the bullshit. You start to understand, you're like, oh, I'm just the type of guy that's never going to be satisfied. And the way that I live my life satisfied is just I'm just going to keep going. That's just who I am. I'm comfortable. I understand who I am. I know who I am. I may sell my business tomorrow. I'm not going to stop. I would just start a different one. I know who I am and I'm comfortable with who I am. And I know I'm just going to keep going. And now I have like a confidence that I never had before because I've been doing it long enough. It's been like 7 years now. I've been doing it long enough that I've learned who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm confident in what I can do because now I have a track record. one of the hardest parts in the beginning. You have no track record. So it's just like you're in the abyss. You don't know if it's working. You don't know what's going on. But after you've built like a nice little track record for yourself and you know you're good at this shit, well, then it gets really good. So if it's hard to live with yourself, if your thoughts are fucking killing you, you don't know what's working, you don't know what's up, you don't know what's down, good, you're doing it right, and it won't be like that forever, I promise. But back to the investing in your business piece. You're not where you want to be. You can't get to where you want to get to with your current office space, with your current number of employees, with your current number of equipment. You can't get there. The way you get there is by investing in your business. It's not being scared to invest in marketing. It's not being scared to invest in the trucks. It's not being scared to invest in the people. It's not being scared. You have to invest in your business. This is how businesses grow. There's never been a business on the planet that didn't grow without being invested into. It's just obvious. But like I really want to drive this home because I know there's a lot of guys that are early on that are far, far, far too conservative. And you look at a guy like me that's way further ahead than you, and I'm telling you, it's because I invested in my business. And now in my second business, I'm investing even more and faster in my business because one, I know my numbers and I know I can afford it. And two, I know that's what we need to do. We can't get to where we want to get to with our current level of shit. We need to add to it. We need to invest in the business. So learn your numbers and invest in your business and rip the Band-Aid off because the more you invest in your business and you see it pay off, the more you're going to understand this and you won't hesitate next time and you'll get shit done quicker. You know, like your first hire, you may contemplate on your first hire for 9 months, maybe a year. That's way too long. You're wasting fucking time. Imagine if you made your first hire at the month 1 when you first started thinking about it, and now you can continue to move forward. And now maybe you've made 3 hires in 9 months instead of 1. So stop contemplating it and just fucking do it. You need the people, you need the machinery, you need the equipment, you need the office space, you need the marketing. You fucking need all of it. So learn your numbers, do it smartly, do it based on data, but do it. And the last one, this is my favorite. This is by far my favorite. Is that business is fucking competitive. And if you're a psycho competitor like I am, this is great fuel to grow your business. But I got to be honest, and the reason I put this here is because in my roofing company, I didn't really feel like a giant competitive spirit, which might sound crazy because there's like 200 roofers in my area, but I feel like because there's so many of them and you're bidding against different roofers on every job, it's like, it almost washes it out because there is so much competition. You're not like laser focused on any of them. So like that competitive drive, like it just, for me, it wasn't there. I have a really good friend that owns a scrapyard. He started his scrapyard when I started my roofing company. So we talk all the time. And he's had it like, because there's not that many scrapyard businesses. So for him to gain a new account, he basically has to steal it from a competitor that he's very familiar with. Well, in the metal fabrication, the metal supply business, it's exactly like that. There's only a few of us. So for us to gain a customer, essentially somebody else has to lose a customer. And I fucking love that. Like me and my partner call each other all pumped up, like, ha ha ha, got him. It's like, it's a different thing as far as like, speed to improve your business, looking for things that you can do for your customers that nobody else is doing, looking for things you can add to your website that nobody else is adding, looking to be a disruptor because like you know how these guys are doing it and you want to be different. You want to be different to stand out and you want to crush them. That's your competition. You want to beat them. And I've really just been enjoying that side of it because I'm a competitive person and like, to have not had that competitive fuel in my first company, I realized I was missing something. So just like feed your competitive spirit, man, because business is competitive and you have to understand that. So like this could be used in so many different ways. Like say you find a problem in your business. You find a problem, you know you have to fix it. Well, if you understand that business is competitive, your speed to fix that problem or your speed to implement this new thing in your business or your speed to add this to your website or your speed to implement this nice little extra touch in your customer journey, like the speed to implement things because business is competitive, because you know you're trying to win is going to be super important. Your speed to hire new killers, your speed to everything because you know this is a competition and you want to win. That's a piece I was missing early on in business. And I just want to throw that out there to remind you that business is competitive. This is a competition. Some people are going to win and some people are going to lose. Some people are going to grow their business this year and some people's businesses are going to shrink this year. Some people are going to go out of business this year. So like you've got your family, you've got your employees, you've got all this shit riding on you winning this competition. So just remind yourself that you're in a competition and business is fucking competitive. And honestly, it's one of my favorite parts about business and I love it. I love the competition because I want to fucking win. I digress. I've been going for a while. I'm going to do my best to make this consistent. I'm going to try to do at least one YouTube video a week. I think I can make it happen. I've got a lot to talk about. I've been taking notes in my phone the whole time about video ideas, content ideas. Something comes to my head because I always knew I was going to come back. I knew I wasn't going to be gone forever. I just had to take a little break. And again, I'm going to shit on all these fucking people on YouTube that are trying to sell you guys stuff because honestly, man, you guys can learn all this stuff from everybody's free YouTube videos. You don't need to partner up with people. You don't need to pay people. You don't really need to pay for people's courses. I don't think so. I think they're all bullshit. The people give all their information out in the free YouTube videos, and that's why you watch them because it's valuable shit. They're not hiding secrets in the courses. There's no need to pay for them. You know, and a good guy is just going to help you. Leave a comment, get in touch with them. I'm sure I'm going to regret saying that because like eventually if this continues to grow, I'm not going to be able to help everybody. But I'm not in this for the money. I make money in my businesses. I don't need to do this. I don't need $1 from any of this. It doesn't take that long. I sit in front of a camera. I talk for about 35 minutes and people, it helps people. So that's why I do this shit, man. So just, I'll keep coming back. Stay tuned for more.